advocacy, community, education, resources, rewards. Learn more at thervadvisor.com.
Little birdie told me I need RV advice.
Get information straight from the horse's mouth.
Little birdie told me I need RV advice.
It's Just Ask Gigi with Gigi Stetler and Tom Alexander. Now here's Gigi and Tom.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Just Ask Gigi. My name is Tom Alexander, and of course, there she is, the star of the show, Gigi Stetler. Hey, Gigi, how's it going?
Grand. Everything is going. How are you?
Good. Yeah. Doing well, thanks. And of course, although I see some sunshine peering through your window there, we're probably just moments away from another South Florida midsummer deluge. It just never seems to end. These thunderstorms, right? Flood the parking lot, lakefront property.
Yeah, quite the storm yesterday. The lightning was very scary.
Yeah.
I guess on the bright side of me sitting in an RV, I'm grounded with 8 rubber tires, hopefully.
That's right. One of the safer places to be, right? When you're grounded with all that rubber. So lots going on as usual, and I know that you've kind of ridden in on the white horse and saved a few folks from some perilous situations. Why don't you share what's going on?
Well, I just, I have bragging rights this week, so I thought that I would just brag a bit today. So
yeah, go ahead.
2 completely different situations, but a woman, she's a doctor, and she came in looking at campers. She was looking for a motorhome, and she spent hours with my brother. She's a very sweet lady, Maggie, and she spent hours with my brother. And we been doing this for so long. We try to talk to a customer and get their needs and stuff like that, and try to put them in something they need, not what they want. But she was bent on an RV when you drive, and as talking to her, my brother, she's never going to drive it. She's terrified, to even think about driving one. And so she's here on a contract, living in the Keys at a hospital. Like, she's on a contract anyway. She's a doctor, and so she took a contract for a year because her daughter's here at med school, and she thought she'd stay here for a year. So she was going to stay at a campground very close to the hospital down in the Keys.
Yeah.
So after doing all that, what she really wants, my brother was kind of trying to talk her into like a fifth wheel or something, but she was because all her friends told her she has to have an RV. So long story short, she came back a few days later, and she came to look at the motorhome again, which she fell in love with, and she came with her daughter.
Yeah.
And after, now my brother was off, so I started talking to her. So as I started interviewing her basically of what her needs are and stuff, and I said, you don't need this motorhome. You can't buy this motorhome. I mean, you just can't, you can't have this. You're not going to start the engine every day. You're not going to make sure the battery starts. You're not going to do any of that. And I took her over to a fifth wheel, which she absolutely fell in love with. And it was a 2-bedroom, which is great because she has a coworker that was going to share with her. Well, the coworker would have had to sleep on the couch in the motorhome. So, so anyway, so she, sometimes people they're, and had she had wandered anywhere else, I guarantee the salesman, she would have owned that motorhome already. That's just the way it is. So you have to kind of take a step back. And what I always say is write down on a piece of paper what you're going to do with it, and so that you can ask yourself these kind of questions so that you can make a intelligent decision. So anyway, as we're talking, and finally she decided that okay, she loves it, the daughter loves it, they're going to buy this fifth wheel, and that was the plan. So they left again. They went to go make sure that she can secure a property down in the Keys, and then she came back a couple of days later. We had the camper, we were getting it ready for her. We didn't take a deposit. Anyway, so she comes back, and then she's going through the RV, and then all of a sudden she just starts she starts talking to, and Jared was actually giving her the walk, kind of a walkthrough. And then she came back out of the camper, came back over to talk to me, and she says, she says, I've been watching so many, channels on YouTube and this and that. And she goes, I was told I have to get an inspection. I was told I need to check all the seals and make sure there's caulking or something, or, something like that.
Yeah.
And then she started telling me about all these things she's supposed to look at, and she's supposed to, look at the contract, and she's supposed to, send it and this, that. She goes, so I gotta go and make sure that I'm doing everything right. Because, there's, so I said, wait, so I said, well, what were you watching? And she says, the RV advisor. It was so funny. I'm like, and I'm looking at her and I said, do I not look familiar?
Oh,
And then she says, oh my God, that's you.
yeah.
It
That's
was
funny.
so funny. I was
Wow.
dying.
Yeah.
So she took my advice. She was actually, but I guess it was great. It was funny. So she had a pad of all the things I have been telling people to look for.
Right.
So I got to go check the caulking. I got to put my foot in the corners of all the
Yeah.
slides. It was, oh my God, it was great. It was
Hey,
great.
hey, Gigi, can you help me with something? Can you tell me if this lady knows what she's talking about? Oh, it's you.
Oh my God, it was.
That's pretty funny. That is funny. And then you said something else occurred as well, right?
Yeah, well, so that was the end of that story. But anyway, we make jokes about it, and the daughter, the daughter, and because they had been talking about me and not really realizing that it was me. So
Yeah.
So, and then so then I had another GPS lady that had Kathleen, that had signed up this last week, I guess. I don't even know what week it is or date is anymore, but I think it was last week. And she found us the Odd Squad, and
Yeah.
I love my odd couples, and she had been listening to the videos and stuff, and I guess she had reached out to them, to John and Mercedes or something, and she said, you better call Gigi, because she was negotiating with a dealer. So she's negotiating with a dealer on the phone on a unit that she hasn't seen, and nor has she seen a contract or anything. So the dealer asks her for her credit card, and so she gives him her credit card over the phone,
Mhm.
and he runs $8,500 on her credit card. $8,500.
Ouch.
I know. And she didn't get a contract. She didn't get anything.
Uh-oh.
She didn't even get a receipt. He just
Yeah.
told her, okay, I'm going to take $8,500 deposit. And like, okay, first off, don't ever give your credit card without any of that. So she didn't, thank God she didn't sign anything. She called me first, and she hired me first. So
Smart.
we talked on the phone, and I said, the first thing you need to do is call that dealer right now, and tell them to refund your credit card right now. And before you even go any further, because the thing is, because it hasn't even hard posted yet. I
Yeah.
said, the good thing that you can dispute it because you didn't sign anything, but who knows what they're going to come up with, and once it's already hard posted, it's going to be very difficult.
Hmm.
So I said, if they squabble about giving you your deposit back, or give you any noise, then we're going to have to dispute it with your credit card, and they're obviously not the right dealer to do business with, because
Right.
that totally inappropriate for anybody to run a credit card before you see a contract, ever.
Yep.
Ever. So luckily, she listened to me, and she told them that, she said, I said, don't tell them that I gave you the advice, because it just sometimes, well, she said she was making it sound like she was, got legal advice. And I said, I'm not a lawyer, so don't, I'm not giving legal advice. I'm giving you my expert opinion.
Mhm.
So, but she had written, that she had spoke with her lawyer, and
Mhm.
but she didn't name me, of course. Anyway, so long story short,
Yeah.
they credited her credit card the next day, or that day. And so best story is that and then she took a deep breath, and she said that at first totally discouraged her. She's like, I don't think I ever want to, I want to buy an RV. This was like the most terrifying experience ever. And then she says, but I will know one thing. I will tell you one thing, that this old single grandma will never, will never do anything without you again. So, which made me feel good. And she's obviously, she said she was she called herself an old grandma, old single grandma. So, and then she wrote back a couple of days later, because I'm not here to discourage anybody from buying RVs. It's the greatest lifestyle in the universe.
Yeah.
I just want you to do it right. And so I wrote her, I said, I promise you that you will truly enjoy it. I said, you just got to give it a chance and do it correctly. So she wrote back and she says, I don't even know what I was thinking. I've never even been in an RV, never driven one. So I'm going to take your advice and I'm going to rent
Yeah.
a couple of them.
Well,
So
that's something we've talked a lot about on the show. Rent
Yeah.
first.
yeah, just rent a couple of them so
Yeah.
what size you can handle,
Right.
tow or this or that, all kinds of options. So anyway, so the good granny is off having fun, renting RVs right now, and then she'll get back to me when she's ready to buy, when she makes the right decision. But I got her out of an $8,500 hole, so that's good, because that dealer would have, all he would have had to do is send a contract and put non-refundable, and she would have been stuck even if she didn't sign it.
Yeah. There you go. It's something to, sage advice, wise advice right there from Gigi. Yes, bragging rights indeed. And we're going to talk about another bragging right toward the end of the show. But before we do that, we'll take a quick break. And of course, we've got your questions coming up next, right here on Just Ask Gigi. Back in just a moment. Here's the world's only permanent jack pad. RV snap pads attach permanently to your RV leveling jacks. Let them know what kind of rig you have, and the perfect set of snap pads await. To learn more, visit rvsnappad.com. We are back on Just Ask Gigi along with Gigi Stetler. I'm Tom Alexander. We've got a couple of questions for you. As always, Gigi, this one's from Dale. Dale asks about a potential, I think he's using for a used one, toy hauler recommendations. Toy hauler recommendations. Do you have any?
Well, without being brand specific, a couple of things that you really need to think about if you're, what kind of toys are you putting in there? Is this for, a once in a while hobby? Or are you motocross racing? Or are you bringing Harley Davidsons, that kind of thing, so that you can make sure that your toys will fit in there. We had a customer rolled up here the other day and wanted to put 2 Harleys in the back of one that we have. And I told them to bring the Harleys and we'll put them in and make sure they fit. So so whatever you're planning on, you've got to really lay it out and think about the tires, where they're going to go and stuff like that. Like I said, and also take into consideration the weight of your toys that you're going to be putting inside, and the weight of the axles that are on the trailer. So those are, factors to think about. If you're getting into something large, like a big Cyclone, Raptor, one of the triple axle, very heavy toy haulers, you really, the number one issue that is going on all the time is they're not putting heavy duty, proper rated tires coming out of the manufacturer. So make sure you may have to change the tires before you hit the road, because what they're selling them with, these Chinese brand tires, do not have the proper load range for those big 40, 42, 44 foot toy haulers. So keep that in mind.
Great. All right. Thanks, Dale. And we've got a question from Barbara. I guess she's got a teardrop here, Gigi, and she's wondering if you think it's a good idea to maybe always have a spare small generator to bring along.
If you're going to be boondocking, I mean, well, first off, there's probably no space to put a generator in that unit. So you'd have to make sure that you have the ability to put it in the back of your tow vehicle,
Mhm.
or, and I think a lot of people have misconception of needing a generator. If you are boondocking, um, a lot of times they don't let you run the generator. It's too noisy.
Yeah.
If you're on like private land, things like that. So if you're going you're not going to use a generator as much as you think you are. But if you are going to go boondocking in woods and stuff like that, seek solar panels, maybe a lithium battery or an extra battery, inverter, things like that. So you may not be able to run your air conditioner. Think about the time of the year that you're going to be traveling, maybe where it's not so hot, that you don't need the air conditioning because everything else will operate on gas and 12 volts. So really consider on, on what you need the generator for and where you're going to go. Because like I said, most places have hookup, and or they don't allow a generator on the
Right.
outside.
Gotcha.
RV.
All right, very good. Well, thank you, Barbara, for that question, and thank you, Dale, for your question as well. And if you want to ask Gigi a question, very simple, just email us at info@thervadvisor.com, info@thervadvisor.com. In the subject line, just put JAG or Just Ask Gigi, and we'll get your question answered by the expert herself, Gigi Stetler. When we come back, one more bragging right to tell you about, and it's a big one. It's the big one.
Yes.
That's next right here on Just Ask Gigi. Stay tuned.
The RV Advisor was created for you to protect your rights as an RV enthusiast and arm you with the knowledge to navigate the complex RV industry. There's strength in numbers, and that's why we've built a nationwide network of RV owners empowering you with the advice you can trust at rvadvisor.com.
Wrapping things up now on Just Ask Gigi, along with Gigi Stetler, I'm Tom Alexander. And the big one, we refer to birthdays sometimes as the big 4-0 or whatever it is, Well, you've got a bit of a bragging right, and I could see why, because you're going to, I know you said you're proud of your age or your upcoming age here in the next couple days. Share with everybody the news.
I guess I'd say I'm proud and I've earned every wrinkle and stuff like that, but I'm going to be 60 in a few days.
Wow.
And it's like, I think time stopped with me because I feel 20. I probably act 25.
Well, listen, I said, when my grandmother was 60, she had her hair in a bun and her teeth in a glass. Okay. So I could tell you that it was a whole other thing.
I'm dancing on tabletop. So
you do. Yeah, that's amazing. And when you say you sort of aging stopped at 20 for you, at least I
didn't mean looks. I'm not saying looks. I'm just saying mentally.
No, you absolutely. No doubt. No doubt about it. No, it's the energy is abundant, and it's obvious. We all have to sort of tap off that energy occasionally. It's like, oh, I'm feeling a little sluggish. We need a shot of Gigi today. It kind of just brings everybody up. That's fantastic. Well, congratulations. Sunday's the big day, right?
8/8. So for my birthday,
yeah,
because this does go up on Facebook, of course, and everybody and anybody that wishes me a happy birthday will get a free membership, a free 1-year membership for everyone who wishes me a happy birthday.
Wow. All right. Well, that's fantastic. That does not include employees, right? I guess we're exempt from it. We don't get a free membership, or do we already get a free membership? I guess, technically.
No, you don't, because you get a non-paid account, which doesn't give you any benefits. So
okay.
You'll get a paid account, which will give you all the benefits and coupons and discounts that you get as a paid member. So
Right.
yes, Tom, even you could wish me a happy birthday.
Wow.
So,
Well, okay, then
well,
allow me to be
please
the
count as
first.
well.
Allow me to be the first. Happy birthday, Gigi. That's a great one. And you listen. Let's just keep it. Let's just add, decade after decade. Keep it rocking. Fantastic. And don't forget, you wish Gigi a happy birthday online and on Facebook page, and a free membership is yours. How about that? That's pretty cool. Well, Gigi, have a great one. Enjoy the celebration. Yeah, enjoy the celebration. What are you going to be just chilling out with friends and family?
No, I'm actually having a party on Saturday. Well, I'm calling it a party, but it's not really a party because of COVID.
Yeah.
Last year we did, I had a private event for just my friends, and
Mhm.
I did dark dining last year. And so no one knew what food they were eating. They had to wear a mask, eye mask, and we had all the tables were separated with plastic partitions, and it was fun. So they had to eat with their hands, no silverware. So I have another mystery dinner. There's some mystery. It's going to be a mystery and a little bit of a comedy thing. I'll share with you next week how
All right.
it went.
Eager to hear the details. That'll be a lot of fun. So anyway, folks, listen, that's another show in the wrapped up, I guess I should say, for another week. A new Just Ask Gigi next Thursday. And until then, have a great week, a great weekend. Enjoy, stay safe. And Gigi, happy birthday once again.
Okay.
All right. For Gigi Stetler, I'm Tom Alexander. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.